I know this might be hard for some of you to grasp. This might be a difficult moment, but it's time. I am gonna go get a haircut. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get a haircut. It's time to cut it all. I'm at least gonna cut some of it off. No, I'm probably gonna cut all of it off, to be honest. I'm gonna cut it all off. Right, so cut it off and it grows back bigger. There comes a time in each man's life where, well, perhaps not each man, for I fully recognize that there are some people who may not have ever cut their hair, partly because some people have a genetic defect or some sort of medical condition where they don't grow hair, so they don't have to cut it, and some people just do not cut their hair, whether because they're some sort of rebel of I just don't know, or because they are I don't know, maybe they're just trying to make a statement of some sort or living out their life however they please, or maybe they're tribal people living out on an island and they just haven't figured out the technology for cutting hair. I'm not saying their hair has been growing unhindered their whole life. Maybe they burn their hair to shorten it or just pull it out by the fistfuls. Anyways, I was ready to cut my hair. This, as you see here, this is the longest my hair has ever been in my whole life. I didn't measure it, but it is longer than an inch, and sometimes I like it when it's shorter than an inch. I'm not too picky, but this is the longest it's ever been, and I enjoyed it. The thing I don't like the most about my hair being this long is mostly like right after a shower. That it gets wet, it gets gunky, matted. I don't like how long it takes to dry out. I don't like damp hair. Anyways, I like the areas of my life that I can simplify. I do like to simplify. So cutting my hair seemed like a good step forward in simplifying that. And so I did it. And letting it grow out is also simple because not getting a haircut is pretty simple. So I mean you can go down both roads. So anyways, I called my friend Emily, who has the Elsewhere Salon, and I went and took a seat in the salon chair. If it's not a barber shop, is it not a barber chair? Anyways, it's a salon or the hairstylist seat. I sat down, and I was fully expecting only to get a haircut when I came to this place today, that day. But Emily, being the hairstylist, fully saw an opportunity to treat me like a sort of Barbie doll, I suppose, and jumped at the opportunity to do all sorts of crazy things to my hair. And I said, well, to put it bluntly, and for the sake of brevity, I said, okay. I did. I said that. I said, okay, let's do whatever. I didn't really have any grand ideas because I hadn't really thought this all out. I really just planned to just cut my hair. But then she's like, let's put dye in it. And I said, okay, let's put dye in it. And I didn't. First, of course, to dye hair, I suppose you have to bleach it. I learned that. And so we bleached the hair, and then we dyed it, as you will see. My hair dyed that day. The day my hair, in more ways than one. You'll see the whole thing. The whole thing happens. I think that it's fairly normal to undergo at least a small version of some sort of identity reevaluation. Not necessarily an identity crisis, but some sort of identity reevaluation every time you get a haircut or as you get a new hairdo, because your hair really affects how other people see you, and it really affects not your personality, but your identity. So I'm not saying it's a shallow thing by any means, but we're all constantly making decisions all day long by, even just by the clothes we put on, by the expression on our face, whether we try to smile more, smile less, if we put more or less effort into, like combing our hair, or if we put on makeup or not, or stuff like that. We're making decisions about how people see us or what we want people to think about us, and our hairdo is part of that. And so I was, this was just, as you'll see, I went through a vast I don't know the words, but some people, when they grow big, bushy, uh, large forests of beards on their faces, and then they, for some reason, want to cut off these beards. I don't know. That's flabbergasting, but I guess that's as flabbergasting to some people as me cutting off these luxurious golden locks off my head is to other people. Anyways, they cut off these beards off their faces, and then they do these things. They take pictures where they go through all these different styles of beards and mustaches and different facial hairs and stuff. They do they have the big bushy beard, and then they go to has anyone noticed there's like a zillion different names for different beards? First of all, does anyone really even know what a goatee is anymore? I feel like a goatee is like a very specific thing, even though I would call it a goatee. There's 50 different things I would call a goatee, but then someone who's really like a facial hair enthusiast would be like, no, that's not a goatee. Anyways, the people that cut off their beards and have fun with it pretty much do the same thing that I'm doing with my hair now. And so Emily was like, yeah, so we'll dye your hair and then we'll cut it off. I was like, that's fine. Just dye it, cut it off. We'll record it. We'll make a cool video, and we'll show everybody. And that's what we did. One thing that I remembered that I don't usually go to hairstylists, salons, barbers. I grew up most of my life with my mom cutting my hair, only once or twice. Later in my life, probably not until I was 18, 19, did I start going to barbers. Even now, sometimes I just cut my hair myself because, if you just buzz cut it, that's pretty simple to do yourself. And then the hardest part is lining up the neck and the back. And sometimes I just, put a piece of tape from ear to ear in the back and then, line up the neck and the back that way. It's pretty simple. It's a little bit hairy, it's a little bit difficult, but I figured it out pretty good. Anyways, I still don't go to salons that much. But one thing, this is kind of along the lines of when I went to when you go to the dentist and you get the dental hygienist to clean your teeth for you. I'm thinking one day, if I'm ever obscenely rich, besides me having the dental hygienist, instead of brushing my teeth, and having the dental hygienist to clean my mouth and my teeth every night instead of brushing my teeth, I think that'd be very good and good for me. I will also have some sort of, I don't really care about, I don't know. It's anyone who has ever had this done before will know that it's a very nice sensation to have someone wash your hair for you. I'm just gonna come right out and say it. It's a nice sensation. And I think I would pay to have that done. I'd be like, I think tonight I'll have my hair washed. Get the hairstylist. Even if my hair didn't seem that dirty, I'd probably get my hair washed, or just a good old, like a scalp massage. I would get that done, and I would get my, I've already got my scalp massager around here somewhere. I showed that in a previous video. I see it right there. Actually, it's very colorful. It's a good thing to do. I would do that. I would have people on call, on retainer, as it were. Anyways, what I wanted to say is the color we added was super cool, and I liked it a lot, especially for a video or just for looking cool for a day or two. But you just got to decide if you're the type of person that you feel like you got to decide if you're the type of person that wants to walk around with all that, walking around like a peacock strutting its stuff, and apparently most people aren't the type of people that want to walk around with all that color on top of their head, because most people don't walk around with all that color on top of their head. I don't know if it's because they just don't want to go to the trouble of going to the salon and getting it all put in there, or it's the upkeep. I don't know, if it's because they don't want their, because, when the roots grow out, it starts looking weird, and then you got to get it re-dyed or just cut it off. And it's just like one more thing you got to worry about. And I hate having one more thing to worry about. But, there are people who do that. And then I started to wonder, maybe if I did have the color, what's the big deal? It's not like I have a job that would be affected by it. And it's not like even when I do see people with a bunch of weird colors in their head, it's not like if this day and age, I guess it kind of depends, where in the world you live. If it's like a big town or little city, a big city or little town, but do you really give these people a second look anymore? Not really. It's like, the weird thing is you look at the people's hair instead of them. Maybe look at them. Anyways, I don't know. It doesn't really matter, but I don't know. It just, like, I feel like my whole life, I don't know, I've always been kind of a person that likes to kind of fly under the radar and, walk through crowds unnoticed. It's kind of, I don't know, I feel like it's kind of weird since I'm on the internet, in front of everybody, but this has got to be different somehow. I don't know. The human personality is different. It's complicated. It's more complicated than that, surely. I don't understand it all, but here we are. Look at me, everybody. I don't want to. Is it ironic that I didn't want to walk around with this crazy hair on my head in front of everybody in the world, and then here I am putting a video with this hair on my head in front of everybody in the world? I don't know. Maybe it is slightly ironic. It's a little bit ironic. Surely I have some sort of excuse. I don't know. Who needs an excuse? If I don't need an excuse to have the hair, then I don't need an excuse to have the hair. It's fine. I'm really just talking nonsense now. It's fine. It's what I do. It's one of the things that I do. Everybody has a thing that they do, maybe a thing or two that they do, and just kind of saying one thing and then saying another thing after the first thing that I said is one of the things that I do from time to time, just to fill the blank spaces. So when you find one of the things that you do, you should continue to do it, or the more that you do it, you can probably get better at it. So I would encourage that. I like to encourage people to get better at anything that they do. So, as long as it's not hurting other people, and especially if it's helping other people or encouraging other people or making the world a prettier, better place in some way, or making other people happy. That's nice. It's always, if you're going to find a thing, if you're going to find your anything to do, it's always better if it's making like other people happier or making other people find their anything, maybe. I don't know. Have I ever been vaguer than this? I don't know if I've ever been vaguer than this. All right. There we are. That's how it works. Back to the simple life of having short hair and feeling the wind right on my scalp instead of... It's different. It's nice. I like the different aspects of having hair. When you have long hair, you can feel it play with your hair, and that's nice. I appreciated that. But now you can feel the wind right on your scalp, and it's very cooling and relaxing and relieving. And it's nice, and I like it. And now you can go like this. Also, I'm gonna come right out and say it, and I think my hair is receding. This right here, I feel like this is new. I feel like this is more advanced than before. This is new. This is crazy. I feel like it is. It might not be. This could just be paranoia. I really don't know, but I feel like, I don't know. This is the same thing my dad's hair does, so one day it'll probably go. You think it's gonna go all the way around? I don't know. I just don't know. Anyways, I like it. Oh, I can just do this. I took a shower and I just like ran the towel over my head once, and it was dry after one swipe. I didn't have to like wriggle it a bunch, and I didn't have to blow dry it, or there was no tangling and nothing. It was just so liberating. Oh, so good. My goodness.
Either the backyard of someone very artistic or possibly a serial killer. Not sure.